Hello, everyone. Today we have the premiere episode of the Squared Circle Button, starring myself, Andrew.
And Candace.
That's right. That's who you are. So, the reason we wanted to create this podcast is I like to talk about video games a lot. That's kind of a big part of my life. And yeah, I know there's all these other podcasts that talk about video games, but the difference about ours is the other part, which is what?
I like to talk about professional wrestling.
Yes, you do. So we wanted to get together and create kind of a hybrid podcast where we talk about each of our interests, and I mean, those are the things that we can talk a lot about, I think. So yeah. I think that's kind of the reason we decided to go ahead and do that. Yeah. So it might be a little different than other podcasts in that we're going to kind of have it in sections where I'll be talking about some things video game related, and Candace will be talking about things that are related to wrestling. And just so people know, so she doesn't know much about video games.
Nope.
The only reason she does is because of me.
And you don't know much about wrestling, except what I
know some.
By osmosis.
I know some, and that's actually a lot from video games, which is funny, because there were some decent video games out that I actually played when I was younger that had to do with wrestling. So I think that's something I know a little bit about, but not a lot. I've been learning more and more over time, not through my own will, but I guess that's changing. Yeah, well, it is ridiculous, but video games can be ridiculous too, and lots of other things I like are also ridiculous, so that's fine. So I figured we could start off. And I'm going to start off with talking about what I've been playing recently, video game-wise. So, first off, the game that I've been playing the most, probably, would be The Witness. And that's something that I'm going to talk about in-depth a little later for my in-depth section. But I'll just briefly kind of say that I really like the game, and I never thought I'd like a puzzle game so much. It's very like, in some ways it's really kind of basic, but in other ways it's really not basic. It's a little more complex than what it comes off as right away.
It looks incredibly confusing.
Yeah, it can, but I'll go into that later as why it might look confusing at first, but later on it gets more and more. It makes sense. It's a game about puzzles, but a little more than that from what I've been seeing. And I just kind of want to talk about that since I've kind of beaten the main part of the story. Quote unquote story, but yeah. But there's more to it than that. What else I've been playing? I've been playing the new Hitman game, and that one's just called Hitman. I don't know why they decided to. They decided to do the whole name it just the name, reboot style. Even though I don't know if it's technically a reboot. I think it's actually kind of a continuation of or a prequel. I don't know yet for sure. Some of it takes place before the other games, I believe. Like how 47 comes into the agency, I believe. That's the very first thing you see when you load up the game. It plays a cutscene and everything. You land there and you get recruited into the agency that has been it's been present throughout all the games, I believe. It's kind of the agency you work for as the hitman. So it's interesting what they did with that game. They kind of did it in a episodic format, and at first I kind of didn't like that, and I know a lot of fans probably kind of lashed out at it and said, oh, we don't get a full game, we're going to be, priced for little bits and pieces, and it's going to be horrible. But actually, it's actually kind of cool in how they do it. So, like, you get the first mission, and then some training missions, actually. You start off with training missions. Well, the first one is, like... Actually, technically, all of them are in a training facility at the agency. And there are these, like, different scenarios that are kind of like... In the other games, you would have, levels that are basically, like, set pieces that you can kind of explore, and then you have to kill a specific target or multiple targets. And they do that, but also in the training, at least, it kind of shows you how to, like, go at things different ways, and it's kind of cool because, like, they'll have the actual level, and then outside of it is, like, it looks like the set of, like, a play or something, where if you look on the outsides of it, you just see, boards and like part of a set. That's what it looks like. So it's kind of weird how they do that, but also makes me wonder if he's actually killing those people then, if it's part of a training exercise. I never understood if that was, like, supposed to be virtual reality, or like the people are actors, or I don't know. Maybe they're just really hardcore and just like, yeah, we're gonna have you kill actual people in our facility because that's the only way to train you. I don't know, but anyway. So the game came out, and I ended up pre-ordering just because I saw that they had the Blood Money suit from Requiem. They call it the Requiem suit, and for those that have beaten Blood Money will know what that means. That kind of ties into what I believe is one of the best video game endings of all time, was for Hitman Blood Money. And I'm not talking about... what I mean by that is some people might not have actually seen the true ending for it, because you have to do something specific on the final mission. But I won't spoil that. You can look up videos of it, or you can... Or if I end up doing spoilers for stuff, maybe I'll talk about it later on. Maybe I'll, like, talk about my favorite endings to games later on, and it'll just be, like, a super spoilery thing. But I don't think that's gonna happen right away. But that's one that I would talk about for sure. So anyway, I pre-ordered it, got the suit. I think there are some guns too. Oh, you get a rubber duck, I think, explosive, which is actually quite useful because you can get it through security, none the wiser.
Because no one's actually looking for a rubber duck.
Or they don't think it's an explosive. They probably just think you're a weirdo, which you kind of look like one anyway. So
who's this creepy son of a bitch carrying around a rubber duck?
Well, he's bald and he has a barcode on his neck, and
so he's incredibly sketchy looking.
Yeah,
he's carrying a rubber duck.
For some reason that alone doesn't arouse suspicion. So, yeah.
Oh, hey, you look creepy and you have a barcode on the back of your neck.
Maybe he just seems like he's a hard dude. Like, I don't know.
He's seen some shit, done some time.
Also, I keep thinking that Jason Statham would have been a better cast for him in the movies.
They made movies?
Yeah, they did.
Were they good?
Not really.
Okay.
They're kind of forgettable.
Okay.
I think Timothy Olyphant played, I think, him in the first one, and then they made another one, I think, with a different actor, and I don't know who that was. But anyway, that's a thing.
Well, to be honest, Jason Statham isn't a guarantee that it's going to be a good movie. Remember that bad movie?
Yeah, In the Name of the King was really bad. Don't ever see it. Unless you want to laugh. Well, actually, it's not really even a laughable bad movie.
It's just a really bad
It's
movie.
an Uwe Boll. It's an Uwe Boll movie, so I mean, it's bad. But anyway, he made certain actors look bad that aren't normally. Anyway, you get the Paris level. I'm kind of rambling about it. You get the Paris level right now, and they'll be releasing more levels later on. So Hitman games usually have been, you play each level in sequence, and maybe you can go back and try, different ways to kill your target. But usually people just kind of go through it, and I think it's kind of actually good that they do this episodically, because it gives people time to kind of explore that first level and do all the different ways of killing the target. Plus they have these things, contracts where people can make contracts of different characters throughout the level and put them online and say, you should go kill these people instead of the normal targets. And then you can go and play those, and it's cool because you can choose different ways to do it. You mark the targets and you say, I want to kill this person and this person, and if you kill them in a certain way, that'll also create kind of a bonus objective if that person also kills them in the same way. It's kind of cool. You get experience, and you unlock stuff that you can use in the levels by doing those. And I don't know if they released the elusive target yet. I don't quite know what that's all about yet, but it's pretty fun, I'm sure. So anyway, yeah, you unlock achievements and you get more points if you do different things in each level. So it gives you ample time to just kind of really explore the levels. And as far as being a Hitman game, it's very much a Hitman game. There's a bunch of ways to do things. I'm kind of glad they got rid of the thing in Absolution, where the last Hitman game, where you had to, even if you're in a disguise, pretty much everyone could see you and notice you, but you'd have to hide your face, and you have to hold on a button to do that. And I didn't like that. That happened way too often. In this one, they kind of go back a bit to where it's kind of a meet in the middle thing. Everyone, there are only certain people that will know that you're a suspicious character if they see you, and they're actually marked pretty well. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's really fun, and I can't wait for the next episode to come out. And I think I looked it up today. It's coming out April 26th, and it's going to be in Sapienza, which I also looked up, and that is the university in Rome. So that might be fun. What else have I been playing? Borderlands 2, I've been playing a lot of that with my friend Andrew online. It's just a real fun game to play with other people. It's a looter shooter, as some people call it. Just kind of fun, hang back, get some experience, get some cool guns. It's not a new game, really. I'm playing the Handsome Collection, so it's got better graphics and on PS4 I'm playing it on. I also started playing Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, because I've had it for a while. I just haven't gotten around to playing it, and it's one of the few main, I don't know about main Zeldas, but it's one of the big Zelda games that I haven't played yet, and it's really good so far. I kind of like it. It's a lot different. You get a boat and everything, and it's really fun hunting for treasure and finding all these things around the world. Yeah, I don't have any specifics to say because I've been kind of neglecting it a little bit lately, but I did start it at least, and it's really fun. The other game I just started, that's pretty cool, is Transformers Devastation, and that's it's I don't know, almost seems like a Platinum game. I don't think Platinum makes it though, like, because the combat's similar. Kind of reminds me of like Metal Gear Rising almost, or some other game with like combo based, and you can like dodge and get the upper hand on the enemies kind of thing. But it's got all the original Transformer characters from the original, I guess, series and movie, so like the cartoon versions. So I think a lot of people around our age or a little older might be really into that. I think, from what I could tell, I think it's got some of the same voice actors and everything. Optimus is still the same guy. I think Megatron sounds the same. The other ones sound like they might be, but I'm not 100% sure. They might just be really close, though, which is really cool. And I don't know how many characters you get to play, because it seems like I keep unlocking characters as I go. But it started out with Optimus, Bumblebee, and what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, he's got like 2 swords, and he's another car. I mean, there's a lot of ones that transform into cars. I think it was Wheeljack, something like that.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, but like you get weapons, and you can synthesize them and like equip different weapons in between missions and stuff. It's pretty cool. Good combat, like really fun once you like get good at it, because you have to do a lot of dodging and kind of counterattacks and stuff. Yeah, it's just a fun game. So I'll stop gushing over that to kind of hand it over to you, so you can talk about your wrestling stuff. Because this week especially, I think you want to talk about it.
It's WrestleMania week!
Of course it is.
Only the single greatest, most exciting week for a professional wrestling fan in the entire year. Yay!
Christmas of wrestling.
Christmas, birthday, the chair just broke. So it's my Christmas, my birthday, the Super Bowl, all combined into one happy little 3-day package. And it's 3 days this year, because Friday is NXT TakeOver Dallas, Saturday is the Hall of Fame, and then Sunday is WrestleMania. Even though technically it started today, because Access started today.
Okay, sounds like too much wrestling, but
There's no such thing.
whatever.
No such thing as too much wrestling. I could sit and watch wrestling. Actually, when I was a teenager, I watched 27 hours of wrestling a week.
No comment.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
No comment.
Shut up. All right, so pretty much what I'm going to do when I talk about NXT TakeOver and WrestleMania are I'm going to share a few thoughts, but it's mainly predictions. So TakeOver Dallas is tomorrow. It starts 9 o'clock, I believe, because Access runs until 9 o'clock. So the matches are Finn Balor against Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship, Apollo Crews versus Elias Sampson, which, to be honest, I really don't care. The tag team title match I'm super pumped for. It's the Revival, which are Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. They're like a throwback to old tag teams. Like, their catchphrase or their hashtag that they use on Twitter is no flips, just fists. They're pretty much just like hard hitting and straightforward. They are the current tag team champions. They're against American Alpha, which is the World's Greatest Tag Team version 2.0. Back in the early 2000s, Kurt Angle had a tag team that he called the World's Greatest Tag Team. And it was 2 high school and college amateur wrestlers, Shelton Benjamin, who went to the University of Minnesota. And,
where's that? I don't know where that is.
Oh, shush. So he went to the U of M, and Charlie Haas went to Oklahoma. Which, of course, I'm going to love both of them. The state I was born in and the state I grew up in. There we go. Perfect tag team.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're being completely honest, Jason Jordan is really pretty, and he's a very, very good wrestler. So, and Chad Gable is from Minnesota. So, yay! Minnesota connections. He went to high school here in Minnesota, I guess.
Here? What do you mean? Just kidding.
We're in Minnesota.
Spoiler alert.
Oh my god. Alright, so I pick American Alpha for that match, because I love them. They're my current favorite tag team, besides Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Austin Aries and Baron Corbin. I'm going to have to pick Austin Aries. Partially because I knew who he was before he even went to TNA.
You knew him before it was cool, right?
Yes. His name was Dan Sexton.
Was he a sexy man?
I'm not attracted to Austin Aries.
Well, that's a shame. With a name like that. Just saying.
Fun fact,
Continue.
Austin Aries went to Winona State.
Oh, where's that? I don't know where that is.
Oh my god, I'm gonna throw my pen at you.
That'd make for great radio.
Yeah, the sound of my pen connecting with your head. Anyway. Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. Balor. I don't really care either way. It's gonna be a good match anyway. Another match I'm super looking forward to is Sami Zayn against the new signee of NXT, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Hi. That means yes. For you people that don't know Japanese.
I literally don't care who wins this match. I'm just excited for a really, really good match.
Hi, so des.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Apparently you're... Never mind, I'm not going to complete that thought.
Alright.
And then the match that I'm most excited for, Asuka versus Bayley for the Women's Championship. I want Bayley to win because I love Bayley. But apparently there are rumors that Finn Balor, Bayley, Enzo Amore, Colin Cassidy, and Carmella may all be called up after WrestleMania. So if Bayley is going to be called up, Asuka will probably win, which I wouldn't mind. They'd bring a bit of, I don't want to say legitimacy, because Sasha and Charlotte and Bayley are all very legitimate competitors. But Asuka has that worldwide reputation.
She got that worldwide appeal.
Sure.
I don't know.
She was Kana in Japan, and she was really good.
Does she have a more, martial arts style? Or is it just, I don't know, unique?
It is unique, and she's a unique character herself.
I do remember that, like, the people that do, like, the high-flying stuff are more fun to watch. At least
Lucha
for me.
Libre.
Yeah.
I love Lucha Libre.
Yeah, those are cool. Them guys.
You should watch Lucha Underground with me.
I'll think about it.
Okay. I'll
She's
talk
slowly
about...
trying to convert me to be a wrestling fan, and it hasn't worked for a while, so I don't know. It might work someday. Who knows?
You went to wrestling events and had fun.
I did.
So there's at least
Let
that.
the record show that I had fun.
Yay!
Which is more than Squidward could say.
Yeah, Squidward doesn't really have fun in anything. All right, I will...
For you, 90s kids. No, not really. That wasn't the 90s, so...
Well, 99.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Started in 99.
All right, I can still
All
say
right.
that then.
So...
You 90s kids.
I'm going to pass it back to you, and then I'm going to talk about WrestleMania.
Passing the ball. I really wanted... Okay, good, because this is
Here.
like...
Here's my pen, and
No,
I'm
you don't
passing
have
the
to.
baton.
You don't have to. I wanted to talk about The Witness in depth because it's a really fun game. Well, I think a lot of people might not find it fun, actually. And I'll explain why. So, you start out the game, you don't know what's going on, you're just on an island, and you have to solve a simple puzzle to get out, and it's like the most simple form of these line puzzles that you do throughout the game. You see it's like a little circle with a line segment, and then at the end of the lines at the end of the line segment it's like a rounded end point. And that's what like almost all of the puzzles are in that game. Are variations of that very basic theme. So you start off, you finish, it's just like basically connecting the line. You get out of like the little pipe that you're in, and then you see that you're actually on an island, and you go around and discover all these different puzzles on that variation, and they get harder and harder as you go along. So the one thing that kind of struck me about the game early on is that it kind of it just like kind of leaves you open to go wherever. It's non-linear in that way. Kind of like trying to think of specific games, but can't think of a good example. It's kind of like how Castlevania and Metroid do that kind of thing, but I haven't played enough of those to say that you can do like the areas in different orders. But that's exactly how it is in The Witness. You can do the areas in different orders, and each one kind of has each area of the island has a different form of these line puzzles. And so when you start off learning one of these puzzles, it doesn't flat out tell you how to do them. You just kind of have to figure them out by the context, which is really cool. And they'll usually have like a set of panels where the first one is like super simple and you can do it, and you're like, oh, okay. Then you do the next one and it might be a little harder, and the next one will be a little harder, etc., etc. And sometimes there's just kind of a line of those, like 5 or 6 in a row, where it just continuously gets harder and harder. And then by the end of that, you kind of know how these puzzles work. And the way they switch it up is like all these line puzzles have different symbols on them, which I think you've seen when you've seen me play it. And you just have to kind of figure out what those symbols mean by doing the puzzles. And the learning curve is really interesting like that, where it doesn't tell you, but you kind of divine that information the more you do these puzzles. And I find that really compelling. There's also times where you might be doing puzzles and you come upon something with a symbol you don't recognize, and a lot of times that just means you haven't gone to the right area and done the right puzzles to even know what to do there. So it's really cool in how, like, you might be banging your head against a specific puzzle, but if you just kind of go away from it and come back later, you might finish it in like 30 seconds. I've had puzzles where that's happened to me actually, where I'll just be trying to figure out for the life of me how to complete a puzzle, but then I'll go do something else or come back like a day later, play it again, instantly just know exactly how to solve it, which is really crazy. So I don't know if that's actually was intended. This game, by the way, was developed by Jonathan Blow. He might have had some other people involved with it, but he was the one that made the game Braid, which was also a puzzle game. But that one was more of a puzzle platformer using like time shifting capabilities, and that's how you solved the puzzles. Is you were kind of doing platforming stuff, jumping around like Mario, but you'd also like you could rewind time and you could slow time and stuff like that. This game's different. This is just basically all these panels with these line puzzles on them. You have to draw unbroken lines to make it to the end and meet all these other conditions. But what those conditions are, like I said, you have to figure out. So it's really cool in that I've heard it other places be kind of compared to like learning a language, because at first you don't know what all these symbols mean, but over time, just by context, you end up figuring out what they mean. And it's so satisfying when you finally figure out what they mean and you use it to complete a puzzle and you just like, oh, I get it now. Like, it's super satisfying. And I would really recommend this game to anyone that's interested in puzzles or, you know, really wants to try something different and challenge themselves. I would actually kind of say that I haven't felt this kind of accomplishment in a game since I played Dark Souls, the original Dark Souls, which was a few years ago. I beat it for the first time. And that was amazing. And I've been playing all the different Souls games since then, and they're still all really good. And I get that same feeling when I complete a really hard puzzle in The Witness. I get that, you know, it might be stressful trying to figure out a specific puzzle, for example, but once you do finally, like, it clicks in your head. There's a moment where it clicks in your head and you just figure it out. And that's the best. That's one of the best feelings, I think, in video games that I've had for quite a while. And even though it's a lot of work to get there sometimes, which I think would put a lot of people off, I ended up beating the game probably last week or a couple weeks ago. But since then, I've been going back in and trying to solve all the extra puzzles that I haven't completed. Because there's some other stuff kind of buried underneath the surface. And I don't quite know what is going on with all the stuff that you find out. So far it just seems kind of like all these different pieces of Jonathan Blow's mind, or, you know, all these different mantras that he's trying to get through to people, or I'm not sure yet. Hopefully I'll figure out more later on. The cool thing is I've heard that there's multiple endings to this game, so I might have to research some of that. The thing is, though, with this game, so there are multiple endings, and I've actually been pretty good at not looking at the internet to try to figure out puzzles in this game. It's not like one of those old adventure games where you just can't figure out what to do because you're stuck. And this, I've actually managed to stay away. It's been kind of grueling sometimes. There's been puzzles that I stare at for 2 hours and I'm like scribbling stuff on paper to trying to figure out what to do with it, and I may not solve it for another few days of just on and off play, but I've managed to do all these puzzles by myself, figure them out by myself, and it's always, I think that's the way you have to play it, really. You have to challenge yourself to play it that way, because even figuring out how to do one puzzle might be a big spoiler because of how these symbols work. But I would highly recommend, if people like puzzle games, or they want a challenge, to just try it out. Stick with it. Even if you're feeling like you're stuck on puzzles, the best thing you can do, and this is similar in Dark Souls too. That's another parallel I can make, actually. If you're stuck on a puzzle, just go to just leave it and come back later. And that's the same in Dark Souls. Like, if you're stuck on a boss or an area, go and do a different one, because it's non-linear. Like, you don't have to do things in a specific order. You can go and do other stuff. And in some cases, that might actually help you, because there are some puzzles that you don't have the right information to complete, but you might go to another part of the island and learn how to do those puzzles, and then maybe there's like a different way that you haven't thought about it, and you just end up having that click in your mind and being like, oh, I can totally use that to complete this other puzzle that I haven't completed yet. And you go back, and then you probably, I don't know, take like a couple minutes to figure it out or something. The game is really cool like that. It's that whole thing of functional dependency, I think was the word. I remember learning that in psychology class in college. It's the thing where in the moment, your brain can only think of one way to solve a problem. And no matter what you do, you're still kind of stuck in that, you're still stuck in that mode. You can't think of any other ways around this. You keep doing the same things over and over, even though, they're not going to work. But you come back later and it's fresh, and you think about it in a different way, and you just end up doing it. It's kind of amazing how it does that constantly in that game. I've had it happen so many times. One of the best examples I can say, the thing I kind of want to maybe bookend this section with, is there was a set of puzzles in the game. There's a certain symbol in the game that I thought worked one way, and it was kind of a narrow way that I thought it worked. And I eventually made it to a puzzle that I just couldn't complete with my current knowledge of what that symbol meant. So I'm like, I must have something wrong. So I was thinking about it. I did the thing where I went away and I came back. I was like, okay, I'm looking at this puzzle again. What did I miss from before? And then I thought, well, what if? And I think I said it out loud. I said, if this works, this is stupid. Not in like a super serious way, like the game is stupid, but stupid that like I hadn't thought of it before. And I tried it, instantly solved the puzzle.
I've heard you say that phrase like a million times with that game.
Yeah. I've had a bunch of those moments, and it's actually pretty cool. So it's the whole thing of like, even in Dark Souls, it's like there are these great moments, but it takes some work to get to those moments. But that's also what makes them so much more enjoyable, is because of the work and effort you put forth to get there. And it challenges you as a player, and it challenges your brain, and it's just a really great game. And I think that's all I can really say about it without doing like a whole spoilery discussion, because there's a lot of stuff in the game that's spoilery, like how each puzzle works and the hidden things in the game that you can find. So I think I'll stop there and hand it back to you, Candace.
All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about WrestleMania. There are, 11 matches for the card. Apparently there's 3 on the pre-show, which, just to prepare you for this, since we're going to the WrestleMania party, WrestleMania, counting the pre-show, about 7 hours.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So, the first match that is listed on here, honestly, in my opinion, should be, instead of the Intercontinental title match being a ladder match with 7 people, it should be flipped. Because it's Kalisto against Ryback. Kalisto's amazing, but Ryback, not so much. So, having a one-on-one match for the United States title, but having a ladder match for the Intercontinental title, when the Intercontinental title match should be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It should be point blank. Because that match would steal the show. It would be the best match of the night. But instead, we're stuck with a Kalisto Ryback one-on-one match. As I give my sarcastic thumbs up.
Yeah, it plays well on the audio, yeah.
Shut up. So, I want Kalisto to win, because Ryback, as the crowd has chanted to him, is like Goldberg. And when I was 12, Goldberg was fun. But I'm not 12 anymore. So Ryback's not very fun. And he's not interesting. And he's gone through at least 3 character changes. Probably more. I just lost track and don't care. Then there's...
He evolved like a Pokemon.
Pretty much. And not in a good way. So, there is a 10 Diva Tag Team match. It is the Total Divas, Brie Bella, Paige, Natalya, Alicia Fox, and Eva Marie. Now, when Eva Marie came out on Raw, she got more heat than Roman Reigns gets on a weekly basis. She was
he? You gotta explain all this.
She
to me.
was booed
No, I'm kidding.
so bad. Nobody likes her.
I know what heat means from the context. Brought it around.
Yeah.
No, everyone. People should know what that means, I think.
If you're booed, you're getting heat. If you're being cheered, it's called a pop. So, for example, I was gonna wait, but...
Oh god, here it comes.
When Shane
This is when you
McMahon came
close
back...
Your ears. Turn off. No, don't turn it off. Just...
When Shane McMahon came back, that would probably be the best example of a recent... The crowd popped. Like, they were really loud. And they were excited.
All right.
And I'll talk more about Shane in a little bit.
Maybe you should just get it out of the way.
Shush. I'm still talking about the Total Divas match.
Right.
So, Eva Marie got a ton of heat, and nobody wants her in the match. But it's Brie Bella, Paige, Natalya, Alicia Fox, and Eva Marie against Team Bad and Blonde. Wrestling's never been known to come up with creative names.
B&B.
B-A-D and B.
Whatever.
Beautiful and Dangerous and Blonde.
Okay.
Lana, Summer Rae, Naomi, Emma, and Tamina. Now, fun fact, Lana has never wrestled. we've never seen her wrestle. Except for her doing the Bella Buster like 3 times. And she did a really awesome spin kick on Raw. But beyond that, we've never seen her wrestle. So what I'm hoping for is that she completely blows everyone out of the water. And just rocks it. But with a 10 Diva tag team match on the pre-show, you have 10 women that are vying for attention and to have their own WrestleMania moment. So it may be good. It may be a clusterfuck. Who knows? Yeah, I've already swore on here.
Okay. We gotta figure out if we're gonna market to kids, though. Jeez.
Rated R.
Well, too late now. Cross that bridge.
Can't go back now. And then the third match on the pre-show is the Usos against the Dudley Boys. I'm not even going to say anything because I don't care. The Dudley Boys...
I might bleep it out.
No, you won't. Come on.
No. You won't know, though.
We gotta be hip and...
No, just you. Now you're not.
I never was.
Now you're not. So
I never was.
All right, shut off the podcast. We're not hip anymore. Because she said it.
Well, you agreed to do a podcast with me knowing I wasn't hip to begin with.
It's okay.
You knowingly went in with this information. Anyway, so for the main card, it is, let's see, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
The card would be the list of matches at the wrestling event. This has been a clarifying, nice little something. I don't know.
We should come up with like a
This has been your NPR. No, not NPR, but NPR style explanation of something.
You're gonna need a lot of it because
Next podcast, I explain what FPS means. Maybe. You just have to find out.
Go on.
There. Make people want to listen.
Everyone should know what it means, but it's okay. Go on.
Anyway, so the Under the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which is one supposed to, in the name, honor Andre the Giant.
I know who that is.
He was
Most
in The
everyone.
Princess Bride.
Yeah. Most everyone should know who that is.
Best character in that movie.
He's also a wrestler, I hear.
Yes.
Or was.
Was.
Since he passed away.
Yeah. Moment
Anyway.
of silence for Andre the Giant. Okay. So it's supposed to honor Andre, and it's the 3rd annual Battle Royal. As Michael Cole on Raw, I think it was Monday or last week, so eloquently put it, there have only been 2 winners of this Battle Royal. Well, hey, dumbass. That's what happens when you only have 2.
Gonna have to bleep that too.
Oh, there's like 3 or 4 examples at the beginning. Don't even worry.
All right.
So, Cesaro won the first one, and Big Show won last year. And the way I think they intended to have it was to catapult someone, which is why Cesaro won, but it did absolutely nothing for
To
him.
the listeners, catapult means to lift them up, metaphorically.
Or push them
Or
forward.
push them forward, as she just so eloquently put. This has been your second moment to explain something that probably a lot of you already know. And I can't mute her because we're using the same microphone. So you hear her laughing hysterically. Please go on.
All right. I'm getting distracted.
That's how I do. Sorry.
It's okay. I also am very distractible. So, the announced participants are Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas. Those four are collectively known as the Social Outcasts.
Okay.
Big Show, Kane, Tyler Breeze, who deserves the world and so much more, but is not getting it. Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, who I constantly forget still exists.
Swagger.
Swagger.
Does he have the moves like Jagger?
No, but he has a lisp, so his name to him sounds like Jack Swagger. It's great.
Uh-oh. If he hears this, he'll probably hunt you down.
He glared at me when he signed an autograph for a kid because I wanted an autograph, and I'm not violent looking.
And did you ask where's the TH when he signed it?
He didn't sign anything for me.
Oh,
He
well,
just-
that's a shame.
Glared at me and walked away, dick.
Well,
Anyway,
this is how it goes sometimes.
now I've lost count.
16. 40.
Okay.
32.
Fandango.
69.
Shut up. Damien Sandow, which, holy crap, we're gonna get a television sighting of Damien Sandow. There's a wrestling term called bury. Like when you bury someone.
Like Barry White.
No.
No.
Bury.
Okay.
So,
Bury.
if you look up in a wrestling dictionary the definition of burying a wrestler, Damien Sandow's picture will be right next to it. Which is sad because he's very talented. I miss Damien Mizdow. Darren Young, Connor and Victor of the Ascension, Goldust, and R-Truth. There are rumors, which, if it happens, I'll be really excited. Cesaro might be coming back as a surprise entrant. And he's been out for a while. He had a shoulder injury, I think. So if he comes back, that'll be great. I miss the Swiss Superman. Let's see. It is apparently not for the tag team titles anymore, but The New Day, Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods, pretty much the best tag team on television right now. And you cannot disagree with me because they entertain you too.
Oh, The New Day?
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting.
They're awesome. Along with Francesca too.
They look like a fun group of chaps. One of them plays the trombone, which I also have played.
Francesca too. Her name's Francesca too because Chris Jericho broke Francesca.
I don't name my instruments because then it gets harder to eventually retire them.
Well, they had to retire Francesca because Chris Jericho decided to snap her in half.
Well, you shouldn't have named it then.
But it's Francesca. She's part of the team.
Okay.
Anyway, so the New Day is facing the League of Nations, which, as a political science graduate, the name League of Nations makes me very happy.
Woodrow Wilson would be proud.
But the tag team, not so much.
There should be a wrestler called Woodrow Wilson. Sorry, just adding that.
That'd be kind of cool, actually. It'd be wrestling and presidents and politics, and I'd be in heaven.
Put TR in there, too.
Bam!
Awesome. Maybe I'd watch wrestling then.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah, he could totally do that in the literal sense.
It'd be his weapon of choice.
Oh, but it won't be real wrestling then, because he'd be using a weapon. Shush. It's okay.
The only reason he says that is because of the game WWE All-Stars. We were playing it together once, and I got really mad at him for using weapons.
Yeah, you got irrationally mad when I took weapons out from under the ring. It's part of the game. It's you can't. No, you just can't get on me for that.
Yes, I can.
Whatever.
Anyway, so the League of Nations is Wade Barrett, who I adore, Sheamus, who looks really super stupid now, Alberto Del Rio, and Rusev. King Barrett's from England, Sheamus is from Ireland, Alberto Del Rio's from Mexico, and Rusev is from Bulgaria.
Say it ain't so.
Hence, the League of Nations. So, it was originally for the tag team titles, but now it's not, apparently. But I still want New Day to win, because I am a total New Day fan. Bought the unicorn horn. I have the Bootios box and t-shirt on the way.
The unicorn horn does not look like something that they would be selling to children. That's all I gotta say.
It lights up.
For extra fun.
Yeah.
So you can find it in the dark.
And Bootios are good for you because they make sure you ain't booty. Okay, I had to say it.
Oh, I get it now. It took me a while.
Okay, it's okay.
You always said it, and I was like, it doesn't make sense. Okay. But I totally got it now.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay. There's a singles match between AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. That's going to be a good match. I personally pick AJ Styles because I love AJ Styles. The ladder match for the IC title, which is the Intercontinental Championship. Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Sin Cara, The Miz, Stardust, and in a shocker, Zack Ryder. If you also look up bearing a wrestler, it'll be Damian Sandow's picture, and then Zack Ryder will be right underneath it. He never gets anything. So this is a shock. He actually gets a match.
All right.
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Oh.
I'm not going to forgive you for playing that, because now it's in my head.
Fine to survive. Just like that.
Okay.
Just like that.
Continue.
That was terrible, but I don't care. All right. So
That's pretty much wrestling in a nutshell.
Shut up.
Just so people that are new, like me, or are interested in it, that's what you should be preparing for, really.
It's a life of sadness, ridiculousness.
It's a tire fire that you can watch every week.
Sounds accurate. It's been a 29-year-long tire fire for me. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm saving those two matches for last because those two I'm most excited for. So Dean Ambrose is against Brock Lesnar in a no-holds-barred street fight. In previous weeks, Mick Foley gave Barbie, which is a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, to Dean Ambrose. And Terry Funk, who is also known as Chainsaw Charlie.
Is he funky?
No.
Oh, sad.
So Terry Funk gave a chainsaw to Dean Ambrose because he was Chainsaw Charlie and he had a chainsaw. And then Dean Ambrose proceeded to try to cut a table in half and freak the hell out of everybody else. It was entertaining watching everybody else's face as Dean Ambrose is gleefully cutting this table with a chainsaw.
What are you talking about? That guy always looked so sane to me.
Dean Ambrose?
I'm joking.
Lunatic Fringe.
That's a good song. By the Eagles.
Okay, so I would be happy with either one winning because I like both of them. I'm more of a Brock Lesnar fan because he went to the U of M and I like him. He's badass. It seems like a good enough reason to like somebody.
Pretty badass, oh yeah. Gotta bring out my Carl voice.
I'm assuming the main event will be Triple H against Roman Reigns, which, if you ask a lot of people, no one's excited for Roman Reigns to headline a second WrestleMania in a row, which is why Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank last year at WrestleMania was the best thing ever.
Which means, translation, wrestling can never get any better. The end.
Actually, shut up.
Apparently.
So, I don't know what way they're going to go with this match. Apparently, it's no disqualification, which I never remember being announced, but okay. I would assume Triple H would keep the title. They might be doing the same thing with Roman Reigns that they did with Daniel Bryan, which you cannot manufacture what happened with Daniel Bryan. You can't. It was a very organic thing, which is why Daniel Bryan winning at WrestleMania 30 was the best. Like, it was emotional, it was gratifying, it worked, and I don't know why they're trying to do it with Roman. It's not gonna work. Dallas and all approximately 100,000 people you plan on having in attendance are going to let you know that it's not going to work. There is a triple threat match for the Divas Championship. It is Charlotte against Becky Lynch against Sasha Banks. My feelings on who I want to win this match? Anyone but Charlotte. I love Ric Flair, but he needs to go away right now. Just bye. Leave. I don't want to see you anymore. You retire, leave. Alright, so the match I can't say I'm looking forward to it because, to be completely honest, I do absolutely terrible during Shane McMahon matches. I get very
I wonder why.
Emotional and anxious, and it's a Hell in a Cell match, so there will probably be blood. I've only seen that twice before, and I cried hysterically both times. But yes, Shane McMahon is facing The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. If Shane wins, he gets control of Raw, which by proxy he would have control of the entire company. Because apparently in WWE, where Raw goes, the rest of WWE follows. Fair enough. And if Shane wins, it means it'll be the last WrestleMania for The Undertaker. Which doesn't make sense, because if Shane wins, can't he just hire The Undertaker back? Like, wouldn't that make the most sense?
Sure, why not? This is wrestling after all.
True. So, I'm not sure where they're going to take this. I really, really, really want Shane McMahon to win. Like, really, 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 really want him to win. Because I don't want him to disappear off my television again. He was gone for 7 years, and it was a very hard 7 years. And he came back, and it was glorious, and you got mad at me because I was so excited and freaking out, and you didn't understand. And
I don't know, mad is a strong word.
He makes me happy.
Confused and, I don't know. I guess it was a little upsetting because it was like super, I don't know, distracting, and I don't know.
To be fair, he's been gone for 7 years.
He sounded like some kind of Wolverine, just like screaming. I don't know.
Shut up. I have had a crush on this man since I was 5 years old. He was gone off of television.
How's that working out for you? Shush. That's okay. Anyway, go on.
Whatever.
We're a little past the 1 hour mark.
Anyway.
Should probably wrap it up soon.
So, I want Shane McMahon to stay. I don't want him to disappear. I want him to be on my TV forever, but I know forever is a long time, and it probably won't happen.
Which is why you can sign up for the WWE Network, right?
Only $9.99 a month.
Hey, don't do any free advertising, jeez.
Oh, I will advertise the WWE Network for the rest of my life. So, WWE, I spend a lot of money on you.
No one's gonna...
And you should totally...
You have to wait.
Help me out here.
You have to wait until we actually have people that care.
Oh, I will try to get WWE to care right away.
It's okay.
I love them and will forever love them, and I could probably pay for my child's college education at this point.
You know what?
Anyway, I want Shane
Alright,
McMahon to win, and I want him to stay around for a really long time, and I'm really excited yet
And
simultaneously
his dreamy
nervous.
eyes.
I refer to him on Tumblr as the faraway love of my life.
Alright.
So, you're the near love of my life, and he's the faraway love of my life.
That's so sweet.
I love you.
Doesn't make the screaming any better, though. I mean...
I also, to our friends, refused to apologize for any actions,
Maybe I should just
reactions,
turn on the recording
or
when you're
anything I
watching.
do or say.
I'll just turn
during
on the
the match.
recording. I'll bring the microphone, turn on the recording when he comes out, and just put that up as like a 2-minute podcast of you just screaming incoherently at the television.
Okay, so when he comes out, I don't scream necessarily.
Okay, you say hi.
I go, hi.
And then you, I don't know.
And then I get really giggly.
Yeah.
And struggle to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And smile like a dork.
Yep.
And...
Wrestling does that to you, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, it does.
From what I can see, from my limited knowledge.
Yes.
That's what it does to you.
I have been watching since I was a baby,
Rest in peace.
Wrestling is my happy.
Rest in peace, Tupac. Wait, what?
Wrestling.
What are we talking about again?
Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, wrestling.
And my love for wrestling.
Why not gangster rap? All right, next podcast
Speaking
will
of
be
gangster rap,
What?
Snoop Dogg's being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
That's what we call a segue.
Hey!
Anyway.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm good.
Well, I'm going to go into my last part here. We're a little over an hour, so I'm going to try to keep it brief, but I'm going to try to end my whole spiel with what I'm looking forward to playing, as in video games. Yeah. So, the first one is Dark Souls 3. We're recording this on the 31st of March. Dark Souls 3 is coming out on April 12th, so that's pretty soon. Less than 2 weeks away, so I'm super pumped for that. I like all of the Dark Souls games. The first Dark Souls is probably one of my favorite games that I've ever played. I could get into that if you listen to my Witness discussion, there are surprisingly similar reasons why I like The Witness, as far as how I like Dark Souls. But anyway, that's coming out. I have that pre-ordered. Looking forward to playing that on PS4 on April 12th. Probably get the PC version eventually. It'll probably drop in price so much where I'll eventually have to get it on PC. Uncharted 4 got delayed earlier this year, so it's actually coming out in May. That's the other big game that I'm looking forward to. So yeah, I really want to play that as well. It looks amazing. I played the multiplayer beta of it, and I think the multiplayer is pretty good. I mean, I liked the other multiplayer of the games, but it never kept my interest for very long. It did a decent amount, but I think they improved it this time around. I guess there was a Final Fantasy 15 demo that just came out. I have yet to download that and play it, because I didn't buy that other game, the other Final Fantasy game. I don't remember what it's called, but that also had a demo or something, Episode Duske or whatever that was called. So I'm looking forward to trying that out too, because that must be coming out pretty soon as well. And the other thing, this is kind of probably not on many people's radar, but I found just by doing some poking around, I've been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a lot lately. I'm on the 3rd season right now, which apparently is really super long, and that means I'm almost halfway through it. It's an anime, by the way. It's a Japanese cartoon, for those that don't know, but I'm pretty sure most of you know what an anime is. But it's really good, at least I think so. And there's a PS4 game that's kind of like a brawler, not like a side-by-side fighting game. That was already released before a game like that has been, which I actually ordered. I'm going to play that soon, hopefully. But the PS4 version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Eyes of Heaven, is coming out to the West in summer of 2016, which is this year. But sadly, that's later this year. So we'll have to wait for that so they can release the English version. But I think I can actually, if I use my Japanese PSN account, I might be able to download a demo of the Japanese version and try that out. Because I've already seen some video of it. It looks pretty cool. I won't go too in-depth in that. That's just like anime stuff. If you're into anime, it's a good one. Even though I'm still kind of a noob to anime, I don't really have a good measuring stick as far as what's good and what's not. So I like it though. So check it out if you think that sounds cool. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So if you had anything else, Candace, you can hopefully wrap it up for us.
I'm just going to end this with everyone should sign up for their free month of the WWE Network and watch NXT TakeOver tomorrow, which will probably be better than WrestleMania.
I don't know. I probably won't have it up by then, but okay.
Watch the Hall of Fame on Saturday and watch WrestleMania on Sunday. It all starts at about 4 o'clock.
And Video Game Mania is not a thing. So
you should make it a thing.
You can go to PAX or E3 if you're press. Yeah.
And someday I'll get to go to WrestleMania. Thanks, WWE, for not bringing it to Minnesota.
Wah, wah. No, you're never going to get that advertisement and stuff.
But I still love you.
Uh-huh.
And
well,
I would do anything for you.
You give them money, so I think that's all they really want from you.
It's true. I give them a lot of money.
And tweets.
I give them a lot of money and a lot of tweets.
Instagram stuff and
whatever. A lot of money, a lot of tweets, and a lot of Instagram posts.
Well,
and a lot of free press.
Okay. So we're like an hour 13, so I think that's probably a good place to stop. Hopefully people liked listening to this. Hopefully I don't sound dumb, because I think I kind of sound dumb when I record my voice, but hopefully I don't sound dumb, and hopefully I don't put you to sleep like my high school speech teacher seems to think. But she's not listening to this, so... But it's okay. It's all cool. It's all cool. Anyway, that has been... What is this called again? Okay, squared circle button. That's what we're calling it for now, at least. Until I figure out a better name. Or it just might stick. Or someone might have it already. That's okay.
We'll figure something out.
We'll see what happens. The DMCAs will come out, and then we'll just be like, okay, we'll change it to the Fartcast or something. I don't know.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, that's right. I'd have to change the content to match it. Yeah. Anyway, bye.
Thank you for listening.
Have a good however many times we release one of these. Bye.